Okay, everybody, so we're back. Not in Discord, am I? No, we're good. Professor Sharp's assignment. I guess I kind of want Defendo. I also want Grafringo, so we need to acquire and use a Thunder Brew potion against enemies specifically. That's easy enough to do, but I do want to go there eventually. So, first things first, I have done a bunch of side questing, so I have a lot of shit, and I'm high level, so, you know. The side quests aren't so interesting that they're worth putting in videos in my mind. They're interesting, but they're not like, you know, make or break. Oh, I guess I have to wait till daytime, but that's fine.
Over here.
Oh, or nighttime. Maybe it wasn't technically nighttime. Oh, whoops. Actually, something I have to do right now. Is change my hat's appearance back to what I had it before. Choose that one, I think.
Sebastian, it's been a while.
It has. Glad you received my owl. I have something to show you.
First, let me thank you for what you did in the library.
Of course. Scribner tried to give me detention, but I have ways out of these things.
Well, you took the fall for me, and that counts for something.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I did, but something was missing. I'm not sure here is the best place to discuss it.
Understood. We can talk more in a moment, in the Undercroft. Not even the professors know about this place.
Interesting.
This way. There's a secret passage just here.
Interesting. Cool.
How did you find this place?
My friend, Ominous Gaunt. He named it the Undercroft.
Revelio!
We used to play gobstones here all the time. With my sister, Anne. She loved that infernal game. What I wouldn't give to lose to her again. I should tell you, I swore to Ominous I would safeguard this place. So please, keep this between us.
Ominous
He
Gaunt.
never confides in anyone. But he's trusted me since the day we met. I wouldn't want to jeopardize that. We used to sneak in here almost daily. We've never been caught.
Wasn't Gaunt the name of Voldemort's family? I'm pretty sure that's a thing, right? I think his wizarding side of the family, like his mother's side of the family, their surname was Gaunt. I'm 90% sure that's true.
I think I've seen Ominous in potions. Or was it herbology? I've noticed that he uses his wand to navigate the castle.
He does. No idea how, though. Ominous was born blind, and no spell could reverse it. His wand seems almost sentient. Not surprising, I suppose. Ollivander always says, the wand chooses the wizard.
Is that how he found this place?
No, someone in his family knew about it. The Gaunts are full of secrets. I've never heard anyone else speak of it, and I've certainly never seen anyone else here. Again, mention this to no one, especially Ominous. He has no love lost for his family or their secrets, but this place is special to him.
Understood. But why does Ominous have no love lost for his family?
His father's family are direct descendants
That's what I thought.
of
They are,
Salazar
yeah, okay.
Slytherin,
Perfect.
one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts. Obsessed with blood status, most of them. Ominous cannot abide them, as he'll be the first to tell you. Anyway, the Undercroft has been a perfect place to sneak off to, away from prying eyes, and even practice otherwise forbidden spells.
Really? Like what?
Like the blasting curse. Professors say it's not an appropriate spell to teach students.
A proper magical education ought to include all magic.
My thoughts exactly. A spell like Confringo is only truly dangerous in untrained hands. Such spells should be properly taught, not banned. To be fair, I'm admittedly partial to more fiery forms of magic. But you should learn it. I can teach it to you safely here.
Cool.
It may take a while to get the feel for it. Mimic my wand movement. The incantation is Confringo.
Very well.
Confringo unlocked.
You're getting it. Ready to actually try it out? Stick to the targets, though.
Expelliarmus!
Best to keep the Undercroft intact. Have a go at those candelabras.
Confringo.
Both
Revelio.
have their uses, but I think you'll find that a Confringo cast travels a bit
Confringo!
farther than that. Nice work. How's it feel?
It's a tad hot.
You'll get used to it.
That's it! I think I've got it.
Well done.
Nice.
I have to say, I enjoyed that.
The first time Ominous and I practiced Confringo, we singed our eyebrows.
I would have paid to see that.
I swore we'd never live it down. So this day, there's something about that spell that's addictive.
This is exactly the type of magic I've been hoping to learn.
There's more where that came from. Been practicing similar spells here for ages. Although, I didn't tell Anne and Ominous about every one. Haven't been here in some time. It's not the same without Anne.
I'm sorry about your sister. If there's anything I can do...
Perhaps when I next head to Feldcroft, you could come along. Meet Anne. She could use some cheering up.
Just let me know when and I'll meet you.
Oh, she misses Hogwarts. She's been stuck at home with our guardian, Uncle Solomon. Unfortunately, you'll have to meet him too. Well, meeting a new student will be precisely what she needs.
I shall look forward to it.
Cheers. By the way, what was it you couldn't discuss out in the hall earlier?
I'm not sure where to start.
You said something was missing from what you found in the library. I assume it's to do with what you told me. About the port key, and Gringotts, and Ranrock.
Nothing gets past you. And yes, it is. As I'm sure you suspect, there is a bit more to all of this.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'll tell him everything. Fuck it. I like him.
You must promise to keep this between us.
I trusted you with knowledge of the secret Undercroft. You can trust me.
All right. I can see traces of ancient magic.
Ancient magic? I don't know what I was expecting you to say, but it wasn't that. What does that even mean?
Honestly, I'm not entirely certain. All I know is that I can see whispers of an old magic that hardly anyone else can. Fig and I think that Ranrock has somehow found a way to harness that magic's power.
Are you telling me that goblins may be wielding some sort of wizard magic?
That's what we're trying to find out.
And this ability of yours, does it allow you to wield this magic too?
I don't know.
Well, when you do know, tell me. I've been studying archaic forms of magic for ages. Perhaps we can help each other. In the meantime, with both Rookwood and Ranrock after you, I suspect a bit more time practicing the blasting curse is in order. Spend as much time here as you'd like. And remember, keep this place between us. When I head to Feldcroft, I'll send you an owl.
Revelio. Confringo.
Nice. I think I can also get another spell from potions.
Hello, Sebastian. Wait. You there? I can hear you.
Oh, hello. Ominous, isn't it? I believe we have potions together. And herbology?
I recognize that voice. Heard you talking to Gareth Weasley in potions class. You're the new 5th year. Did you just come from the Undercroft? How did you get in there?
That room's called the Undercroft. Ah, well, I was exploring and then suddenly found myself in a strange passageway.
Don't lie to me. No one stumbles upon that room. Sebastian told you, didn't he? You breathe a word about this place to anyone, and not even your precious Professor Fig will be able to help you. My father is friends with the headmaster. I am not afraid to exploit that connection if I need to.
Trust me, Ominous. I won't say a word. And Sebastian is a good friend. You shouldn't immediately assume the worst of him.
I don't need you to tell me about my oldest friend. Thank you very much.
Ominous, I just meant...
I know what you meant. Sebastian gets himself in enough trouble. He doesn't need your help. Sebastian is going to get an earful about this.
Confringo! Reparo.
Well, that's fun. Alright, so...
Have you finished your assignment?
I finished the tasks, Professor.
Well, well. I trust you are meticulous in your efforts. After all, shortcuts only ever lead to shortcomings.
Yes, sir, of course.
Good. Ordinarily, I'd say it's not my concern either way, but you... I want to make sure you're well prepared. Talent and resolve are a potent combination. It would be a shame to let that go to waste.
Thank you, Professor.
Interesting.
Don't let it go to your head. Now, let's see how you fare with Diffindo. Wand at the ready. Focus. Diffindo can be dangerous if you're not paying attention.
Diffindo.
Very good. It seems you have a grasp on Diffindo. I would encourage you once again to practice here in the classroom, for your sake and that of
Revelio.
everyone else.
Let's go... Diffindo on that one, I guess.
Diffindo!
It's a pleasure to have a student who actually heeds instruction.
Levioso! Accio! Accio! Diffindo! Levioso!
Earlier, Diffindo can be versatile but dangerous. Good to see you continuing to practice.
Accio! Levioso! Diffindo! Professor Sharp, do you have a moment?
Depends on how you intend to use it.
I saw an aura badge on your desk and was wondering if you could tell me more about your time as an aura.
Observant. I suppose I could indulge you for a moment. Spent years tracking down reprobates who dealt in artifacts of dark magic origin.
That sounds positively exhilarating.
Exhilarating. It was at that. While it lasted, at any rate. I enjoyed a great deal of success as an aura. However, success can make one complacent if one's confidence is not tempered by humility. One overstep in battle changed everything.
May I ask what happened?
Yes, well, I suppose it's a matter of record. My partner and I had tracked a suspect to a harbor in Scarborough, trying to smuggle shrunken heads of all things. I had deduced that he was working alone. I was mistaken, and they knew we were coming. From the moment we stepped onto the ship, well, I barely escaped with my life. My partner wasn't so lucky.
I suppose being an aura is dreadfully dangerous. I'm sorry.
It is at that. But survival is not guaranteed for any of us. Pay attention. And not just within my class. This is what I must impress upon you all. A potion and a poison may be a mere breath apart, until you consume the wrong one.
Well said, Professor.
He's cool.
Diffindo!
I wonder if this is where the rumor requirement is.
Professor Weasley? Somewhere away from prying eyes.
Cool.
Forgive me, the headmaster stopped me and I... Merlin's beard. I see you've wasted no time. Well done. Shall we?
After you, Professor. What is this place?
This is the Room of Requirement. It only appears when one is in real need of it. Ordinarily, a student might stumble upon this room entirely by accident. If ever. I'd only planned to suggest to you how to find it by walking past that bit of wall, focusing on what you need. But you've managed to reveal the room on your own. While I'm here, we should take advantage of the moment. Now, where is Deke? He must have sneaked past and gone ahead.
Deke, Professor.
The house elf I was speaking to in my classroom your first day. Thought he might help you use the room once you found it.
Expelliarmus!
There's no chance I'm clambering over this mess. This presents the perfect opportunity to teach you Evanesco, the vanishing spell. You can cast Evanesco to vanish certain objects, such as these chairs and other things here in the room. I suggest you practice the wand movements first, then you can clear the chairs away.
Evanesco.
Splendid. Now, cast Evanesco on those chairs. Excellent work. You'll note that you are now in possession of Moonstone. We shall discuss its uses later. Let's move on.
Revelio.
Where in Merlin's name is that elf? Is that... Goodness. My old school bag. I wondered where that had got to. I can't believe it's still here. I'll just take a quick look at this. Give you an opportunity to explore on your own until we locate Deke.
Perfect.
Yes, Professor.
I waited for you for ages. Perhaps you were assigned a few more inches of parchment than you'd expected. Let me know if you want to try and meet again. Sincerely, T. Okay.
Revelio.
Yikes!
Careful.
Huh? Oh, there you are. Wait right there. Deke will come to you. Hello.
Ah, Deke, we've been looking for you.
Apologies, Professor Weasley. Deke was looking through some of what's appeared in the room since Deke was last here. Is this the student?
Indeed it is.
Deke is honored to meet you.
Deke has been a friend since I was a second year. We discovered this room together. I mentioned you to Deke. We believe that you might be able to benefit from this room like I did. Deke, would you be so kind?
Of course, Professor Weasley. The Room of Requirement will always be equipped for the Seeker's needs. It's unplottable, so won't appear on any map. Most happen upon it by accident, if ever. Deke's seen students in need of an extra file for potions stumble upon the room filled with them. You seem to have accessed it in its form as the Room of Hidden Things.
I was thinking about needing a place away from prying eyes. Brilliant.
Oh, that explains it then.
What I need specifically is a place where I can catch up on my schoolwork without distraction.
Well then, the room can provide you with precisely
This
that.
would be so cool when you're in school.
Now, it's time to focus on what you need.
There's an
Just
old house
close
elf.
your eyes. Imagine the room precisely as you need it. The room will do the rest.
Well, that's nutty. So many times this game gives me goosebumps.
You've given yourself quite a canvas to work with. I look forward to seeing what you do with the space. Ah, and it seems the room has provided you with a desk of description. Excellent. It can identify unfamiliar items of clothing. One should always understand the effects of anything in which one is clothed.
Cool. That's the description. You should reveal magical properties of unidentified gear you've collected. I have a bunch of that, so that works out. Do we do this now? I guess we do. Whoa, just gave me everything.
You'll find plenty of items of clothing that need to be identified. The desk will be an invaluable resource.
Cool.
I imagine the desk of description will come in handy.
It will. I hope you'll take advantage of it. Now, I'll give you a brief lesson in conjuring. The room might not provide everything you need on its own.
Conjuring?
Yes, the magic of creating or conjuring objects. I'll teach you.
Cool.
Very good. When conjuring more complex objects, you'll need what's called a spellcraft. Spellcrafts are like recipes. They list the ingredients or resources needed to conjure a particular object. You should have acquired some for a potion station and potting table from tomes and scrolls in Hogsmeade.
I did. Where can I find the resources I need?
While resources such as moonstone can be obtained throughout the Highlands, it's much safer and easier to purchase them. They can also be collected by vanishing objects in the room, such as the chairs you vanished earlier. In fact, you should have enough resources for now.
I see. Can I regain resources by vanishing something I've already conjured?
You can indeed. Quite perceptive. Why don't you give it a try? Go ahead and conjure the potion station and potting table. You should find both familiar, since they'll resemble the ones you've already used to study magical plants and brew potions in class.
Cool.
Well done. You can use these whenever you need to brew potions or grow plants. Presuming, of course, you've collected any seeds or potion ingredients you need in Hogsmeade or outside the castle grounds.
Cool.
Deek will be here to answer any questions you may have. Do not underestimate his insights.
Can you tell me a bit more about Deke?
He's been at Hogwarts longer than I have, and seems to know its every nook, cranny, and secret. We discovered this room together when I was a student. Deke has had a good deal of experience, both here at Hogwarts and at a previous post. I shall let Deke tell you more when he's ready, but again, you would be wise to listen to any suggestions he may have.
can I use this type of transfiguration magic outside of the room?
Conjuring and vanishing are strictly forbidden elsewhere in the castle. We've charms in place to enforce that. It would be exhausting to reverse the errors in both judgment and magic. But the Room of Requirement
Makes sense.
has its own rules.
I will be sure to speak with Deke if I need anything. Thank you.
Good luck. I shall linger a bit longer in case you'd like to learn another transfiguration spell for use in the room.
Whoa. Am I getting another room unlocked? Is this what's happening?
An even bigger space.
How did that happen?
The room equips itself to your needs. It must have sensed that you needed more space to practice spellcasting. If you'd like to customize the space further, you can use these spellcrafts. You'll find more of them both inside and outside the school.
Thank you, Professor. I shall keep an eye out.
Good. I'll leave you to it. This is your space now. Use it wisely.
Okay, perfect. So, first things first. Last time I saw you, I just unlocked the Room of Requirement. I think is probably the last time I was here. So I'm going to show you how I upgraded my Room of Requirement. So I've also gone through and done a lot of exploration, particularly on the outskirts. I flew around and did a bunch of Merlin trials. So I've actually unlocked all of the possible, I haven't done every Merlin trial, but you don't have to do every one to unlock every single one of the, inventory upgrades. So I have all of the inventory upgrades because I got enough. But this is my Room of Requirement.
Deke hasn't seen this many plants here before. Deke thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
Thank you. So, this is my main room here. There's nothing really in here. It's just like an entry foyer, as it were. And down here, we have all of my potion stuff. I could be doing more potions, I guess. I guess I'll throw some Wicked Wells on. Sure. I actually don't need any at this current juncture, because I'm full on like all of my potions. That's why there's some still sitting on the stack here. But we're brewing some potions down here. We also have some plants. I probably don't need a whole lot more Mallow Sweet. The reason I did the Mallow Sweet, as I said, I was doing Merlin trials, and for every Merlin trial you do, you need Mallow Sweet, so I was growing some here. I think you can empty the pot and put something else in here, theoretically, so I can put knot grass in here, sure. I'm not expecting to need a whole lot more Mallow Sweet, and if I do, I can just come back and grow some, that's fine. So we'll grow some knot grass in there, and then we'll keep the Dittany growing, because why not? But that's about it for my Room of Requirement. I haven't done a whole lot in here, but I just did some interior decorating. As you can see, everything's nice and purple, because purple equals cool. But yeah, this is my Room of Requirement. I spent some time decorating, because fun. But, moving on, we have some major quests now. There's some random side quests that popped up as I was walking around. I didn't really do any side quests, really. I think there was one delivery quest I did, maybe, that you guys won't have seen. There could be a few others, but in general, I only did ones that seemed completely story irrelevant, and the only thing that they pushed forward story-wise was the fact that Ranrock is kind of being a dickhead all throughout the outer areas of the Highlands. So he's got gangs going up and terrorizing small hamlets and stuff like that, but that's the only real thing we've done. I also did this assignment. This was I just had to use plants. That's all this was. Use plants on enemies. The combat plants. But we've done that, so let's go attend herbology and learn Wingardium Leviosa.
Wonderful
Sure,
to
I'll
see
take
you
the name.
again.
I've completed my assignments, Professor.
Pleased to hear it. Professor Weasley will be too. I'll be sure to let her know how well you're coming along.
Thank you, Professor.
Professor Hecat tells me she taught you Levioso, so you should be ready for a more advanced levitation charm. Wingardium Leviosa requires a bit of concentration and a nice, graceful wand movement. Let's see you try your hand at it. When executed correctly, you should be able to pick up boulders as though they were sprigs of sneezewort.
Cool. Wingardium Leviosa learned. Cool. Levitation charm Wingardium Leviosa can levitate and move objects. Control its position and move with your movement and use up, down, left, right to fine-tune its distance and rotation. Interesting. Okay. So this is more of a... I want to actually... Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was wondering, because Levioso is kind of... You can kind of do that with Levioso, but not easily.
Wingardium Leviosa.
You're a natural.
So I can spin it. I can move it towards me or further away. And then we can just move it more freely just with the stick. Okay. Cool. Very cool. She also had something else to say here, I think.
Professor Garlick, a moment of your time?
The plants are resting, so now's as good a time as any.
What made you want to teach herbology?
I was wondering, what made you want to teach herbology?
How lovely of you to ask. I've always had an affinity for greenery, so this situation is a bit of a dream come true. After graduation, I was thrilled to be asked to step in for my old herbology professor. He'd had a slight accident, you see.
Oh dear. A shame for him, but it worked out well for you.
Well, he never cared, really cared for the plants, and they could sense it. Oh, you'd be surprised how perceptive a plant can be. At any rate, the trouble began one day when he cut into a wigan tree. Unfortunately for him, its leaves were hiding a bowtruckle. You may recall the marvellous creatures that resemble a twig. The little beast gouged the professor's eyes
Jesus.
quite fiercely. Terrifying, I imagine. Likely for the professor, too.
And that's when you took over as the herbology professor?
Well, not quite. After 3 weeks at St. Mungo's, my predecessor regained a tiny bit of his eyesight. He insisted on returning to the greenhouse. Within a week, he claims by accident, kicked a Chinese chomping cabbage, so it was back to St. Mungo's for him.
Fair bit of bad luck there, I'd say.
Well, I felt awful for him, but I dare say I felt a bit more sympathy for the cabbage. Upon his discharge from the hospital, his indifference to plants had turned to utter disdain. He lost what little patience he had left with a particularly temperamental venomous tentacula and, well, his resulting leave of absence continues to this day.
Interesting.
I'm glad everything worked out as it did and that you're the herbology professor now.
Very kind of you to say. I do love these gardens and helping my students grow. Lovely speaking with you. Have a wonderful day. Oh, and remember, be kind to your wigan trees.
Otherwise you get attacked by bowtruckles and they rip your eyeballs out, apparently. Terrifyingly. She also seems very young. She seems like she's like early 20s, right? Like she's probably... maybe even like late teens. Maybe she's just graduated. I could see that being a thing. Also, apparently it's still pointing me here for some reason. Let me check my quests, I guess. Weird, that might just be a mistake, perhaps. Well, whatever. Let's report to Professor Fig, shall we?
Revelio.
Do that every time. I gotta open the map and I hit Revelio.
You're back.
Finally. Minister Spavin talks more than he listens. Ranted on and on about rogue dragons. Wouldn't listen to a word about goblins. Speaking of which...
Listen, Professor. So much happened while you were away. Your friend, Mr. Ollivander, sent me an owl asking for help finding an heirloom wand that was stolen from him.
He did he?
And so I went to the owlery like he said, and there were all these statues.
What do you mean, statues? In the owlery?
Yes, which led me to a secret hideout where I found Richard Jackdaw's ghost.
Who on earth is Richard Jackdaw?
He was a student here long ago. Anyway, he told me about a secret cavern. I went there, and right next to Jackdaw's skeleton, I found the missing pages.
You found the pages?
I did. And because Jackdaw had followed the map they contained, when I found the pages, I found the location on the map. Believe it or not, it's a room below Hogwarts.
Why am I not surprised? Shall we?
I was hoping you'd say that. Oh, and we'll need to bring the book.
I love how he just word vomited everything to him there.
The room is called the Map Chamber, by the way. And a portrait of Percival Rackham awaits us there.
Professor Rackham. I look forward to meeting him. How did this Jackdaw get the pages from the book?
Evidently, Peeves stole them, and Jackdaw stole them from him.
Oh, Peeves.
I like this recap because I've done so much stuff in between that I almost forgot. I mean, I didn't, but you know what I mean.
Safe travels, my young friends.
Thank you, Ignatia.
To think it was beneath us all this time.
Once again, God, I look cool. Every time I see it.
This looks promising.
This game is really good at giving me goosebumps. I think it's the music. The music particularly does it.
A map. There's Hogsmeade. And over here, the Forbidden Forest. And, of course, Hogwarts. It's magnificent.
It's a sick map.
If only you were here to see this.
Speaking about his wife, I presume. That's so cool.
Hello, Professor Rackham. We've placed the book on the pedestal as you asked. And this is my mentor, Professor Fig.
How do you do, Professor Fig? And you, my young friend, see now why you needed to return with the book?
I do. I also see why you refer to this room as the Map Chamber.
That you have come this far tells me that you possess extraordinary magical ability, the potential and power of which will unlock should you prove yourself worthy. The location of each of 4 trials will, in time, appear on the map. Trials that will test you and give you access to invaluable knowledge. Trials that you must complete on your own. Do you recall the pensive memory you viewed in my vault in Gringotts?
You and your friend Charles spoke of the portkey, and of trials you'd created for one who could see traces of ancient magic.
Precisely. Charles is another of the Keepers, a designation we gave ourselves centuries ago, in light of the knowledge that we have been bound to keep hidden. Until, perhaps, now.
So, the passage from your ruins to Gringotts, everything in the vault, the restricted section, finding this room, none of these was a trial.
They were an important part of the journey, But they were not trials themselves. The fact that you have come this far, however, bodes well. The trials were designed to ensure that the power and knowledge we have kept secret for so long does not fall into the wrong hands. They will test your abilities, both innate and learned. But of equal importance, everything you witness as you complete the trials will inform what you choose to do with all that we share. You will need patience. The trials have much to teach you. It will take time.
I'm afraid we don't have the luxury of time.
We have waited this long, Professor Fig. Surely a few more.
Respectfully, sir, while I do not know the secret you keep, I do know that our young friend here has seen traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. And we encountered an uncommonly powerful goblin wielding such magic as we prepared to leave your vault at Gringotts. We may already be too late.
This is grave news indeed. Young friend, do you trust Professor Fig?
I do.
Then, in the light of your considerable skill and all you have already accomplished, we shall begin. You will find the location of the first trial marked on the map below you. Whilst Professor Fig may assist you in locating the trials, they may be completed only by one with our ability.
Shall we have a look? I know that tower. It's not far. You may have seen it yourself.
It looks familiar. Perhaps your young friend is more well-traveled than you might think.
As your mentor, the least I can do is go ahead to make sure it is safe. Join me as soon as you can.
You said that you know that tower. What can you tell me about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. I've passed it dozens of times. It's north of Hogsmeade.
I have seen that tower.
My recollection is that it seems abandoned. Clearly, however, the tower conceals more than meets the eye.
I'll find you at the tower as soon as I can.
Until then, be careful, and do not tell anyone where you're going. Over here.
We're not alone.
We are not. Ranrock's loyalists. Around a dozen I can see, but could be more.
Can't we operate past them into the tower?
We could, but we've no idea what's in the tower. More importantly, however, I'd like to know why they're here. They've set up camp just ahead. I suggest we investigate a little before doing anything else. Let's go.
I believe you.
Well, this isn't ideal.
Revelio. No, it isn't. This way. And I'd suggest we use the disillusionment charm here. No sense in announcing our arrival.
I'm famished.
Quickly now.
Yeah, I get it.
Stay hidden and tell us Petrificus Total. Revelio. Well done.
Nothing over here.
Petrificus Totalis.
Assassin's more dangerous than the other two. It's clearly designed as a stealth mission, which is hilarious.
Why is a grapple you are?
Revelio.
Oh, this day's gone on too long.
There's a note in here. Let's have a look at this.
Orders. Directly from Ranrock.
Search a tower in the surrounding area. Look for anything to do with the names. What you find here could be the key to Comlingind finally taking its rightful place in the world.
I will draw blood.
You'll try.
Revelio.
Easy enough. I guess it wasn't that easy. I did get hit a lot. But, you know, I didn't die, so...
It's more than mere coincidence that we encountered Ranrock's loyalists here.
Looks like we found the entrance.
It's locked.
Nice.
An unlocking charm.
Very handy. No time now, but if you don't learn it soon enough, we can work on it back at the castle.
Revelio.
Welcome to San Bakar's Tower.
Hello, Professor. Did you say San Bakar's Tower?
I did. Professor Bakar is a keeper you have yet to encounter. I'm glad to see that I was correct in presuming that we would meet again soon after our last encounter. Though I surmise, based on the commotion I heard, that you did not have an easy time getting to me.
We did not, Professor. We encountered goblins outside the tower.
That goblins were aware of my vault is disquieting enough.
Interesting.
But if they have also made a connection to this tower, then the threat may be greater than I thought. All the more reason for us to move forward. Downstairs, near the entry, a reservoir of ancient magic, like those you've seen before, has been unlocked. Command it to access a doorway. I'm afraid I cannot say more. As Professor Fig cannot join you, he and I will, in time, see you back at the map chamber. Remember what you see.
Interesting.
We're going to need to understand how Ranrock's loyalists knew about a tower that once belonged to a keeper. For the moment, however, you've more important things to set your mind to. A reservoir of ancient magic, I believe?
Yes, sir.
Then I shall leave matters in your increasingly capable hands. That said, be careful.
I will, sir. I'll see you back in the map chamber. Revelio.
Whoa.
Revelio.
Cool. Quite cool. The first trial. Okay. Revelio. As soon as I enter
I've
any
seen this
place
before,
ever.
in Gringotts and the restricted section.
A statue of like the ancient magic symbol. Ancient magic here. Should activate the doorway.
More traces of ancient magic. Something must be different.
Interesting. It's dimension shifting. 5 Wiggenweld potions. Implies to me that this is going to be a relatively difficult fight.
Expelliarmus!
You're big.
Expelliarmus!
Ow!
Leviosa, defender! Glaciers! Levioso, Defendo, Confringo, Glaciers, Confringo, Glaciers, Defendo, Confringo, Glaciers, Accio, Expelliarmus, Levioso, Defendo, Glaciers, Confringo, Accio. Glaciers. Defender. Expelliarmus. Glaciers. Confringo.
That was sweet.
What a relief.
Potions are OP. Another pensive. There is some loot there, so let's make sure I get the loot. Percival Rackham's memories. That's a cool way to store a memory. Ostentatious, but cool.
Your ability to transfigure the world around you is remarkable. What is it?
My father isn't getting better. I don't think he'll ever recover from the death of my brother.
It is agonizing to see those we love suffer.
The drought was years ago. But the pain of losing him is as deep for him now as if it had happened only yesterday. He doesn't need pretty pillars, he needs peace. What if I could help him, Professor?
You do so much for your father already.
It's not enough. I want to take away his pain.
It is tempting, I know, to use this magic that you're mastering to transfigure more than the physical world. But human emotion is a potent force unto itself. Even the most well-meaning and competent witch cannot possibly know the consequences of irrevocably manipulating it.
So I'm to watch as my father's pain destroys him.
It is not your pain to take.
Good line. I really like Percival Rackham. He's great.
Every year a student sees something sillier than I could ever imagine in their tea leaves. Oh, Miss Morgana, welcome back to Hogwarts, Professor.
That's going to take some getting used to. Professor Rickwood?
I was so pleased to hear that you'd accepted the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts, Professor.
Sit, Isadora. Tell us about your travels.
I was actually hoping that you and the others might join me at my home this evening. There's much I'd like to share with you.
That would be delightful. We shall let the others know.
Very well. I shall see you then.
I'm definitely getting like Dark Witch vibes from her, right? Like she's gone to the dark side for well-meaning intentions, but...
Another memory. Now to find a way out of here.
What have we here?
I'm a student at Hogwarts, sir. And this is Professor Fig.
Professor Charles Rookwood at your service. Has someone completed the first trial?
I have, Professor Rookwood. We saw you in the Pensive in Gringotts with Professor Rackham.
Indeed. So, you found the portkey to access Professor Rackham's vault, and you deciphered the map within the locket you found floating above that Pensive.
I did. I found something that I can't identify floating above the last Pensive.
Ah, yes. You will find a similar artifact in each trial. You must take care to keep them safe. You will need them to complete the journey we have set forth for you. Once you have them all, we will tell you what to do with them.
Very well. Are you able to tell me anything about the next trial?
Before you proceed, I would like to speak with Charles regarding the urgent situation involving the goblins.
The goblins?
The student has seen traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. They and their mentor, Professor Fig, not only encountered goblins lurking outside of San Bakar's tower, they also encountered a powerful goblin in my vault at Gringotts.
I'm afraid it would be wise to halt the trials until we know more.
We shall defer to you in this matter, of course. Now then...
Wait, Professor. The name Rookwood. Do you think...
that there's a connection to Victor? Perhaps, but we can't be sure of its significance, if any. For now, tell me what you saw in the Pensive.
Before the witch from the last Pensive, Isadora, became a Hogwarts professor, she argued with Professor Rackham about using magic to remove pain.
Hopefully the next Pensive provides more context. For now, we should learn what Ranrock knows. I will be honest, I've no idea where to start.
Actually, I might know of someone. I saw Serona at the Three Broomsticks speaking to a goblin once. They seemed friendly.
Well, it's worth a try. See what you can find out. Of course, don't forget...
My studies. Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Before you go...
Yes?
Professor?
Have you encountered swirling traces of magic in the world? Aside from those along our path?
Not that I recall. What are they?
I have,
Evidence
actually.
of the Keeper's efforts to manipulate the power of ancient magic during our time. If I am correct, and I usually am, you should be able to use them to inform and enhance your own magic.
Thank you, sir. I will look out for them.
I found one of those... Oh, it's autumn. Or fall, as Americans say. But, I did find one of those and I completed it, but the ones I've found since, like I found them and they show up on my map, but I can't access them for some reason. Maybe they're now technically unlocked. Maybe the game glitched when it did the first one?
Revelio.